Hi, today we're talking to Ross from London. Hi, Ross, how are you?
Hi, Sheila. Yeah, I'm fine, thanks.
That's good. Would you like to share your story with us?
Yeah. Have you got until next Christmas?
I think we can manage that, yes.
Of course, I'd love to share my story with you. Absolutely. Well, I had my stroke on the 2nd of August last year, so not even 6 months ago yet. And prior to the stroke, I was living a very unhealthy life. I was very overweight. I was smoking 40 bags a day. I was a big stress head. I was working every hour that got sent and more if I could. You know, everything. I was ticking every single wrong box. And I've been warned about it for years. Been warned about it. I'm 52 now. And since I was probably in my 30s, I've been always struggling with my health and my weight. And always been told by the doctor and my parent, you need to sort yourself out, lose weight. You know, we don't want you 6 foot under before you're supposed to be there. So, but I ignored all the advice, ignored all the signs, and I had a few scares along the way. We have heart problems running in our family. My mother's diabetic. We also have stroke history. My mother's had various strokes. She had one major stroke and 3 smaller strokes. But I never really noticed. Never even dawned on me that I was going to have a stroke or a heart attack or anything. It was in the back of my mind, but I ignored it. Anyway, fast forward back to August last year. I had the stroke on the Monday, the 2nd of August, the Monday. That weekend before the Monday, I was working. Saturday, I'm a London cabbie, by the way. So I've done the London Knowledge, the famous London Knowledge. I love the London taxi trade. Do not mention UBER throughout this whole interview, please, because I will disconnect straight away. I'm joking. But anyway, I'm a London cabbie. I picked up a customer from Euston Station, and he wants to go to Islington, which is in North London. And I'm driving along the Euston Road, and suddenly I hear him screaming in the back of the cab, "Oi, mate, you've just gone through a red light. I'd like to get home in one piece, please." So I did, and I thought, have I? Anyway, I apologised. All of a sudden, I sort of felt a bit dizzy and a bit wheezy and not right. So I pulled over and I said, "Look, sorry, I do apologise. I'm not feeling that well, but I'll help you get another taxi." He got out. I helped him hail another cab. I think he was more relieved to get in someone else's cab and get home alive than anything else. Anyway, I've sort of got a little bit of fresh air, stretched my legs. Not that you can get any fresh air in central London, but I started to feel better, so to speak. You know, still not quite right, but not dizzy. So I jumped back in the cab, and instead of doing the normal thing, what normal people do, and go home and have a rest, now, silly, I was going to swear, but no, don't swear, Rosh. I was going to do not swear. Mr. Stupid here decides to carry on working. And the first thing I thought about when I got back in the cab was, oh, no, I've got to chase 20 quid. I need 20 quid. I've got to get a McDonald's and a packet of bags on the way home. Thinking back, I'm thinking, are you crazy? But anyway, that's what I done. I stayed out working, got my 20 quid, bought a packet of cigarettes. I didn't get a McDonald's that night. Yeah, but I got a KFC instead. There's so many things I've looked back to that period of my life, and I'm surprised I haven't had another stroke just thinking about it. So if you see me holding this cup up, by the way, it's not because I'm having a cup of tea or coffee, because I can't swallow. I'll tell you about that in a minute. It's because like everyone else, we produce saliva, don't we? And normally we don't think about it. We swallow it and it just disappears. With me, with my swallow situation, I have to spit it out, unfortunately. I try and do it discreetly. But if you do see me with that, that's what that's all about. So that's what happened on Saturday. Sunday, I went to work. I wasn't feeling 100%, but I still went to work like an idiot. Monday, Monday the 2nd of August. It was quite early in the morning. And I started to feel, I woke up with a really sharp pain in the back of my head, about here. I never experienced pain like that before in my life. I've had headaches, but not really at the back there. Excuse me. So I got out of bed and with this pain, and I've gone to the bathroom, and it all went wrong there. The bathroom started to spin around 100 miles an hour. I couldn't stand up. I collapsed onto the floor. I couldn't pull myself back up. I started, excuse me. I started calling for help, and my landlord luckily was in the house, and he heard me, thankfully, and he came to my rescue, and he said, "Look, you need an ambulance, mate." So he's called an ambulance. The ambulance has come very quickly, and I've been carted up to the hospital. Just as an idea of how big I was, they couldn't get a stretcher, or they could get a stretcher upstairs to the level I was, but they couldn't get me down again. They were very blunt and honest. They said, "Look, you've got to help us here. You're too big for us to carry down this flight of stairs." So I sort of bumped my way down. My landlord has given me a few friendly pushes at the back, and anyway, together we managed it. It was out of Laurel and Hardy, this. So they've got me into the ambulance. Initially, they were going to take me to Royal Free Hospital in Hampstead, which is my local hospital. Sorry, it's not now, but it was my local hospital 6 months ago. I've moved since then. But they said, no, we're going to take you to the stroke unit at Northwood Park Hospital, Rush. And I'm laying there. I can't really communicate because I can't talk, I can't move. It affected the whole of my left side, so I can't really move my hands or anything. But all that registered with me in the hospital, in the ambulance, was those two words, stroke unit. And I remember thinking, what? Stroke unit? Are you sure? Shouldn't I just be going to hospital where they can give me an injection and a couple of tablets and I'll be on my way? Stroke unit? What the heck does that mean? So luckily, one of the ambulance crew had the good idea to bring my phone with me. She grabbed my telephone off the side and she said, "Look, do you want me to ring your parents or someone close to you just to let them know?" And I was sort of saying, yeah. I was nodding my head, please. And I was kind of saying, Dad. She got the message anyway, ring my dad. So my dad got the message to my dad, what was going on. And again, I heard her on the phone to my dad saying, "We suspect he's had a stroke. He's lost his left side. He can't feel anything." And I'm just in a panic, to be honest with you, Sheelagh. I'm thinking, is this it? Am I going to die here now? Is it, I've heard bad things about stroke. I don't know too much about it at that time, but I've heard terrible things about it. Am I going to kick the bucket here? So anyway, they've got me into the hospital. They've started prodding me and started attaching wires to me and taking this measurement and that reading and that machine and all sorts of things I never want to see again for the rest of my life. And I thought, this is it. This is it. I'm going to die here. But I felt really dehydrated. Really, really dehydrated. And I needed a glass of water. So I was sort of signaling to the nurse about me being rehydrated. I was sort of doing this business. And she brought me a glass of water and I sort of gulped it down just really quickly. Well, I didn't gulp it down. I just sort of gulped it, put it in my mouth. And instead of gulping it down. Instead of it going down where it should do, I spat it all out again, all over my t-shirt and everything. And, you know, I'm already in shock. I'm already in a daze. I don't understand really what's going on here. So she brought me another cup and she said, look, chill out, calm down. And I'm thinking in my head, chill out, love. Oh, chill out. Did you just say chill out? And bless her. You know, she didn't mean chill out, but, you know, I know what she means now.
Mm.
She said, look, just calm down and just take it easy. Take the water, but slowly, really slowly. So I'd done that, but again, it wouldn't go down. And I sort of just gave up on the idea. I was just grateful to get something liquid in my cheeks, you know. So eventually the doctor caught up with me during the day and said, look, you've lost your swallow. You can't swallow anything. You've got something called dysphagia, where you've lost the inability to swallow temporarily. He said the word temporarily, and that's the word that sort of stuck in my head, temporarily. And but what is temporarily is, and my temporarily, obviously, are two different things. Because 6 months later, I still can't swallow. But anyway, throughout the course of the hospital stay, I was there for 5 weeks. I was looked after really, really well. Of course, I can't fault the NHS at all.
Mm.
They were lovely. The physio was lovely. The speech and language therapists, the occupational, the psychiatrists, the doctors, the nurses, everyone was so lovely to me. I'm really, really grateful. I'd much rather have not been there. But I was very lucky that I had a lovely team in the stroke unit. And they're all specialists at what they do, and they were looking after me as best as they could. Initially, I was put in an open ward with other stroke survivors, and for the first 2 weeks was a miserable time, Sheelagh. It was so awful because I couldn't swallow. So we had a problem. We had a big problem. How was I going to eat? How was I going to get nutrition and stuff into me to keep me alive, to cut to the chase?
Yeah.
And there's a couple of things they can do in hospital to get nutrition to people. One of which is an NG tube through the nose, down the throat, and sort of stops about here. And the bit that comes out the nose, they can attach a bottle of feed to and feed me that way through a pump, blah, blah, blah. Now, I couldn't tolerate this NG tube. They tried 8 times to get it into my nose, and I couldn't tolerate it. One of the reasons why I was very fidgety, because I couldn't swallow, I was constantly spitting my saliva into bowls, away from my mouth. And when I was sleeping or trying to sleep, I was constantly waking up because the saliva would go down down my airways. So I was waking up a lot, coughing a lot. So the tube just ended up falling out 9 times out of 10. One time they did manage it overnight, and I did manage to have 1 bottle of feed that night, once in 2 weeks. But the first 2 weeks was miserable, and a decision had to be made after the 2 weeks what to do with me in terms of nutrition and feeding. Sorry, excuse me. So it was then decided that I would have to have a peg, and it's sometimes a little bit difficult to describe to people what a peg is. People within the stroke world pretty much know what a peg is, but people in the outside world, I have to explain that. Sometimes I have to even show them. Basically, what it is a small procedure in hospital. That they drill a hole into the side of you, to be blunt, stick a tube into you, stitch up the side that they've just drilled through, drill another hole in the front of your belly, and get that tube out. I probably got those stages wrong, but that's basically what happens. It's a tube that goes directly into my stomach. And there's a bit of the tube. I won't start stripping now, but there's a little bit of the tube that's on the outside of my body. plug stuff in. Not only feed, but medication. I can't swallow a tablet.
Yeah.
So I've had to live with this peg now for, the balls of 6 months. So while I'm having therapy, while I can't swallow anything, I do have to have feed, and I have to feed, obviously. So I get a bottle of feed every day. There's a company that deals with all of this. They have a big NHS contract that deals with my peg, that deals with the feed, that deals with any issues I have, and they're fantastic. They're absolutely on the ball, on the money. I'm sure they're raking in from the NHS, but they're very good and very efficient, and I'm very grateful, because that bottle of feed, the bottom line is, that's my lifeline. Without it, I will just, I won't be able to eat, or I won't be able to, without the peg, I won't be able to have medication or anything. So that is my lifeline, and that's what's keeping me alive. So I'm very grateful, although I hate it with a passion, and it's brought me a lot of issues along the line. One of which is weight loss, because this bottle of feed is just exactly what a human needs. It's nothing more, nothing less. It's got all the nutrients, vitamins, and all the good stuff in there, that what we need to stay alive, what we need. So one bottle of feed is 2,000 calories. And as I say, it's got the exact amount of zinc and potassium and vitamin A, and et cetera, et cetera. But with that has caused me particular problems. As I mentioned earlier on, I was severely overweight. I was morbidly obese. I was 18 stone. At my height a year ago, I was 20 stone. Since I've been on the peg feed, I've lost nearly 7 stones. Now that that on paper for Rosh is excellent. Well, he's lost 7 stones, but number one, I would have picked a different way of losing this way. And number two, in such a short period of time, less than 6 months, to lose 7 stones.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's not healthy. Doesn't matter how overweight you are or how healthy you want to become. That is not a good way of doing it. And I totally, in the beginning, I kind of enjoyed it, losing a bit of weight. I was weighing myself every week, and I thought, oh, that's another 5 pounds I've lost this week, or there's another 3 pounds, there's another 6 pounds. And in the beginning, I was thinking, oh, this is quite good. This is a little bit of a perk to having a peg. And as the months went on, my sister, who's also a nutritionist, she said, hang on a second, you're losing a bit too much weight here. And my mum said, you're starting to, you look well, you look fit and healthy, but I'm starting to get all sort of quite bony and stuff on my shoulders. And I looked at myself in the mirror that night, and I thought, yeah, my mum is right. I'm starting to look a little bit. I don't want to over egg it. I'm not skin and bones by all means, but it is very obvious that I've lost a lot of weight quite recently. Yeah. If I was sort of standing in front of the mirror without my shirt on, for example. So I started to make a few noises with my dietitian and my GP about this, and they leapt on it straight away. They said, right, come in, let's get you on the scales. They weighed me in the hospital, but after discharge, they didn't really bother with that. They were more interested in getting, feeding me and all of this stuff. So they got me on the scales, got me weighed, and every week I've had to go, and the dietitian either comes here or I go to the local community hospital to be weighed. And it's got to the point now where my weight is still going down, creeping down, but it is stabilizing. But I'm on, instead of 2,000 calories a day, I'm on 3,200 calories a day, just temporarily, while my weight stabilizes. A plus side to all of this weight loss, I don't want to be negative all the time about things, because I am actually quite a positive person. A positive thing that's happened because of the weight loss and the peg, ultimately, I'm no longer diabetic. I was a raging type 2 diabetic. All they kept doing was increasing my diabetic medication in my previous life. And to the point I was taking more diabetic medication than anything. Now they've taken me off 50%. The doctor has taken me off 50% of my diabetic medication. After my next diabetic review in March, she said the chances are we'll take you off it, or there's no reason to take any medicine when you don't need to take it.
Yeah.
So that's real plus side to you know, I'm really happy.
Definitely.
So that was a stroke. I was discharged. I went home. Excuse me. And then I started to research stroke, joined a few groups, one of which, my favorite actually, is the Different Strokes group.
Yay!
It really is. It's really interactive. It's really inspired me. It's really sort of, you know, it gets me through my day looking at the Facebook group. Oh, who's doing what? And at that point, I hadn't really posted much, you know. When I first got discharged, I was a bit of just a nosy Parker, really. And I saw a lady, I don't remember her name. I saw a lady who had put a picture up. I will remember her name later, obviously, but I don't remember it now. Her name now. She put a picture on the Facebook page about painting she had done, and she sort of explained, you know, she does that in her spare time because she's always loved painting. And I thought, wow, that's just amazing. I was mesmerised by this painting. And don't get me wrong, I'm no art buff or anything. I don't know nothing about paintings or art, but I was just what screamed at me so much, more than anything, was not really the painting, but that she was a stroke survivor who was doing a hobby that she really enjoyed doing. And I thought to myself, well, what do I enjoy doing? Well, I like eating McDonald's. I like eating KFC. I like eating doner kebabs at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I like smoking 40 fags a day. But none of those things are really conducive to anything that's on the Different Strokes website. So I thought, actually, hang on, let me go back a bit here. Oh, eating. I love eating. I've always loved eating. Yeah, but Ross, you can't eat anything, mate. Oh, yeah, that's a problem. Right, what can I do? I love cooking. I know what I can do. I love cooking. Yeah, but Ross, you can't eat any of the food that you used to love to cook. Oh, yeah, that's a problem. It's all right, I'll get over it. Look at these people. This lady's in a wheelchair and she spends her day painting a lovely picture. Why can't you knock up a few meals and put a few pictures on the Facebook page? Right, okay, that's what I'll do. So that's what sort of generally, oh, I might have lost you because someone's ringing. Hang on once again, sorry. Sorry, I'm back.
You're back.
Yeah.
I did, just briefly, you're back.
Yeah, I'm going to actually switch my phone off because that might... I always get calls from the doctor or the nutritionist or something. I'll just switch the phone off. I do apologise. I should have done that. So yeah, that's where it started. The whole cooking thing. So I started. I've always loved cooking. My whole family loved cooking. We've always been a real foodie type family. My mum's from Trinidad in the West Indies. My dad's South African. We're of Indian origin if I go back a few generations. My ex-wife is Irish. My daughter's Irish. I'm a right old licorice all sort, me. So, yeah, I've been brought up on all sorts of different kind of spices and variations of food from all over the world. And I used to spend a lot of time in Thailand. So I love Thai food and I learned to cook Thai food and learned all about spices. So I started cooking, you know, and I love cooking, and I don't video it every day or take photos of it every day, but I put the good stuff. You don't see all the disasters. I must
That's all part of it, though.
Yeah. There's been a few outtakes, let me tell you. Especially the other day making these samosas. Oh my days, what a pain. But yeah. So I started making a few silly little videos about what I'm cooking for the night, and realised actually it's not as silly. People like watching that sort of stuff because, you know, they're interested, like I am.
Yes.
Foodie type people are interested what other people are doing, are eating, or cooking, or how they go about baking a cake. I'm really interested in all of that stuff. I'm addicted to YouTube and food bloggers and people that traveling the world just eating street food. I'm addicted to all that stuff. I love it. And I realized that some people don't like it. I know I've had a few messages saying, "Oh, go easy with the old food stuff, will you, mate? I'm stuck in bed 24 hours a day," which I do respect. I do respect people's opinion, and I do respect. The last thing I want to do is start offending people or start obsessing people. I just don't want to do that. But I started putting these videos on and started, just getting into my food again. Even though I can't eat it, and also just putting videos on of other stuff, like the swallow situation. I had a swallow the other day. So that is all relevant, it's all relevant to the stroke and to what other people are experiencing as well. So yeah, here I am. There's lots of things I'm gonna be doing.
So what's the ongoing treatment for your swallow then?
Okay, the ongoing treatment is constant visits by I say constant, twice a week visits by the speech language therapist. She either comes here or I go to the community hospital. We try small sips of liquid. We've tried water, Coca-Cola, things that are a little bit thicker in consistency, like yogurt, milkshakes and stuff. I thicken anything that I want to try myself with this thickener that they give me. And I try to do a swallow 4, 5, 6 times a day. I often get really frustrated by the 5th or 6th time. The amount of times I just chuck the cup into the sink and just thought, stop this. And it's distressing. It has distressed me a lot. I can't lie. I'm not always this positive person. I'm just like everyone else. I do get annoyed with stuff as well. And I'm nothing special. This is not the Ross show or anything. People, I count my blessings every single day, Sheelagh. I can walk, I can talk, I can move my hands, I can cook, I can go out for a walk, I can go to sleep, I go to the loo by myself. There's lots and lots of people who can't do any of that. So I'm very, very grateful that I walked out of that hospital relatively unscathed. Yes, I can't swallow. Yes, I've got a few ongoing issues with the weight situation. They think I might have some kind of bowel disease, but all this is controllable with medication, although I hate medication. I'm alive, and I've been given a second chance at life. And I have to gob into a cup every 2 minutes. Anyway, that's another story. But I'm alive. And I've been given a second chance, second opportunity. That's when I see younger people who have strokes. If they give up at that age, they should really look at us older people that are doing stuff with their lives and hopefully get some kind of inspiration to you may not get another chance of life. I'm very grateful. I'm 52. I'm very grateful to have another chance. So I'm going to grasp it. I'm not going to slip into my old ways. Yes, I can't swallow, and I really miss it because once I can swallow again, and I really believe I will be able to, it opens up the rest of my life. My standard of life, my
Yes.
quality of life will increase once I swallow, because I can go back and travel and do what I love to do. I love playing golf and all of this stuff. Not that you have to swallow to play golf, but you know, without eating and drinking, your quality of life does deteriorate quite a lot.
Yeah, it's a restriction, isn't it?
Big time, big time. And it's distressed me, it's made me very anxious over the months. But I remain faithful and I keep praying to the big man in the sky, and I'm sure it will happen. You know, I'm not an overly religious person, but I'm pretty sure I could have walked out of the hospital with a swallow and everything else, but I've been told probably by the big man in the sky, look, you've got to change your ways, mate. Otherwise, you're not going to be lucky next time. So, you know, you're going to have 6 months, a year's worth of unable to swallow just to get yourself back to where you should be. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking and over-egging that a bit, but that's what I believe. So, yeah, that's where I am, Sheelagh. I'm post-stroke, and posting videos and trying to interact as much as I can on forums such as Different Strokes. And you just told me about this year's abseil. Put me down, please, as long as no one pushes me over the edge. I've never abseiled before in my life, so I'd love to do it. I'd sign up for it. Just tell me where to sign.
Excellent.
Yeah. So that's all good. You know, I fill up my time cooking, obviously, but it's not only cooking. I fill up my time having a little mooch about, a walk around. You know, I love walking, and I love swimming. I'm really passionate about swimming, but I can't really do it at the moment not because I'm not capable of doing it. I've got to sort my weight out and because of where my peg is, to get the right dressings. And the doctor has said, look, you can swim. There's lots of people that swim and have a normal life with the peg. And I've actually asked the question on the forums as well, does anyone with a peg go swimming? But my doctor's just advised against it, just for now, just for a short period of time. So I'll sort of hold him back on that just for now. And that's all right. I'll get into that when I can, you know.
But talking of water, you've got another challenge coming up in a few years, I believe.
Yes, I do.
A fundraising challenge.
Yes, which Different Strokes is going to be a big part of. We are, I was supposed to row the Atlantic in 2023, next year.
Wow.
With 3 other London cabbies. Now, and that was all going ahead. Even post-stroke up to about 3 months ago, that was going ahead. But the medical people, for the organisers, it's called Cabbies Atlantic Dash. That's the team name, Cabbies Atlantic Dash. I'll explain what the dash bit is in a minute, the word dash. The medical people got in touch with me, for the organisers, and they said, look, Rosh, we know you've got your heart set on this. We don't love that you had a stroke, but we love that a stroke survivor wants to row the Atlantic. We've never had anyone who survived a stroke who rowed the Atlantic before. But having a stroke, particularly you with your peg, brings a lot of issues. We've had a word with the insurance company, and it's been decided that you can't do it. Not in 2023, can't do it. If you get into the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and you're struck down with a heart attack or another stroke, and this goes for anyone, not only me, the cost of recovering you is around 50 grand. Not that we want to put cost over someone's life, we're not, but we're just saying how it is. And that bill, the insurance company won't foot. Your family will have to foot that bill, 50 odd grand, to rescue you. Or that's number one. Number two, because it's illegal to carry anyone dead on a boat. This is a bit grim, Sheelagh. On a rowing boat, it's it's against some maritime law or something to have anyone dead on your boat, on a rowing boat. So the second option, your teammates will have to push you over. They'll take a note of where the coordinates and carry on with the row. And I thought, oh, charming. What did you so they had to tie an anchor to my ankle as well, mate. And they said, yes, they do, to make sure you stay in the one place. And then, and then someone somewhere comes and gets you, retrieves the body from deep in the ocean, and then they can, you know. And I said to him at the time, well, just leave me there then, you know. I don't want them paying 50 grand to come and rescue me. Anyway, we had a bit of a giggle about it, although it's not a lot of matter. The bottom line is I can't do it in 23 because the medical people won't allow me to, nor will insurance. But the good news is they said, look, wait till 2024. I know it's a long way away, 2 years. But I've never rowed before in my life. I don't even know how to step into a rowing boat, never mind row one 3,200 miles. So he said, look, giving me that extra year is probably not a bad thing anyway, to prepare for something like this. So the bottom line here, Sheelagh, is I can't do it in 2023, but I can do it in 2023. So I'm getting all my dates. I'm like you, I'm getting all my dates wrong. I cannot do it in 2023, but I can do it in 2024, which is in 2 years.
Yeah.
Got there. It's January 2024. So we're Different Strokes. When I said Different Strokes is going to be a big part of that, we're raising funds for 2 charities, one of which is Different Strokes. The other is a charity which is also very close to my heart, the taxi charity for military veterans. And just very briefly, they help the military veterans from World War II and World War I. A lot of them have passed away now, and from more recent conflicts like the Falklands and Iraq, etc. That this charity helps these guys and girls carry on with their lives. Pretty much what Different Strokes does to stroke survivors, they do to war veterans. Yeah. So they're the 2 charities. We're starting to get the ball rolling slowly now. I know it's 2 years away. We've got interest, you know, coming in. So, you know, by the time it comes to the actual event, I'm hoping that some of you guys, anyone that's reading or watching this, will fly over to Antigua and greet us as we come in. It's 3,200 miles, Sheelagh, we start off in Lanzarote, and roughly 55 days later, maybe less, maybe more, we end up in Antigua, in the West Indies. Wow. Provided the sharks and whales and killer, whatever I know what's going to happen. A killer whale is going to pop by, or killer shark, a white shark, and it's going to look at Rosh and say, that's a bloke that cooks all that lovely food. You know, he must taste quite nice. So they might nab me off the boat, but no.
But because you've lost all that weight, you're not as tasty for them, so you'll be all right. You'll be safe.
I'll just say, please, I'm not big anymore. Please leave me alone. But actually, funny enough, they're of no interest to us. They're interesting. You see lots of dolphins, lots of whales, lots of flying fish. Flying fish are a bit of a pain in the backside because they slap you in the face. But biggest problem for ocean rowers is marlin. You know the big fish with the big
yes.
They got really like a spear as a nose or part of their nose. And what happens is they go fishing for prey, and the little fish, they see a boat, so they go to the boat for cover. And we're busy rowing along, or there's two people are sleeping while 2 people are rowing. I'll just tell you about that briefly in a second. So you're busy having a kip for an hour or 2. Suddenly you get a big spike in the backside. And what is, Yeah, that's a myelin. It's very rare that happens. Very rare. It did happen recently. I can't remember reading about it previous to that. It has happened, but I can't remember. And that's what that is. It's a myelin fishing himself, but missed the fish and gone through the hull of the boat and poked us up the rear end. But anyway, they're the main wildlife problems we have. The main problems we have with the body, because we will suffer. You know, it's torturous. It's 2 hours on the oars and 2 hours rest. And it's a 4-man crew. So 2 men rowing for 2 hours, 2 men trying to rest for 2 hours. And we do that rota 24 hours a day, 7 days a week until we get to Antigua. So the body, I've got to take it seriously, very seriously, particularly as I've got a peg as well. I am taking it seriously. There's no joke what I'm about, what I want to do. So the body will get a battering. But you know, us humans are amazing. We're incredible creatures on the planet. We can, if we're able to, and we put our minds to stuff, we can do it. The peg situation with the rowing is an issue. It's a massive issue. If I'm still in a peg, please God, I'm not. If I still do have a peg in 2 years' time, nutrition on board a rowing boat is a massive part of. We have 5,000 calories a day, and the way we're fed, normal rowers, is through dehydrated food. It gets rehydrated on board with the water. We take the salt out of the water through a complicated machine, and the food gets rehydrated, then we eat it. With me, that's a little bit more complicated because this food is very lumpy. So a feed will have to be formulated for me. I'm very confident that a couple of companies, big companies, have already expressed interest in doing this for me because they haven't done it before and they want to see if it works. They have to get approval from the NHS that I can put through my feed on board. It's not practical to take 2 months worth of heavy 1 litre bottles of feed. That's just not practical. So it's going to have to be packets of dehydrated food. So, you know, it's all these issues that I have to overcome in between now and January 24th. The rest of the team are yet to be confirmed. We have a photographer. You know, I don't know if you remember, I put in not an advert, a post on the Different Strokes forum a couple of weeks ago. Is anyone an amateur photographer? Because I want as many stroke survivors involved as possible.
Yes.
Is anyone an amateur photographer and wants an exciting project for the next couple of years? So David, I hope he doesn't mind me mentioning his name. I'm sure he won't. I'm meeting him tomorrow. David came forward and he said, yeah, I'm a stroke survivor. I'm a photographer, an amateur photographer. What do you want doing? So we spoke at length. We met. He came to the house about Cabby's Atlantic Dash 24. And he said, yeah, I'd love to be involved with this. This is really, really inspiring.
Oh, that's good.
So he's another stroke survivor who's involved with Cabby's Atlantic Dash. He's not a cabbie, but he's a photographer. We need these kind of people on board. So he's massive part of the team. We'll be taking some photos and stuff tomorrow. So he's part of it. We're looking for sort of media type people that can put graphics together and YouTube videos together and all that. I mean, you know, if another stroke survivor can do it, that wants something to do at home, you know, they don't have to come here. Everything's done electronically these days. Please get in touch with me. You know, we'll be more than happy to get you busy. You know, because I can do a bit of it. You know, but editing is not really my expertise, and I can knock up a YouTube video, but you know, we're looking for these kind of people. So what I'm getting at is, over the next couple of years, we're going to be busy training, getting better, getting my recovery better, getting my recovery, you know, going better. I don't know the words. And getting my swallow, obviously. So yeah, that's the big thing that's happening for me. A couple of years. Then the abseil this year, which I'm really excited about. So if I survive that, I'll be in a rowing boat a year later, and rowing the land will be blogging from the rowing boat. So I'm sure I can hook up with you guys at different strokes in the middle of the Atlantic, saying, "Help! Have you got 50 grand, Sheelagh? I need this."
So this is a big question. Have you ever rowed a boat before?
Nope. Next question.
What, not even on a little pond in England somewhere.
No,
oh my goodness.
Park in the middle of the summer, I see them on those things that you do with the pedaling boat things.
The pedalers, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't even done that. So no, we have a rowing club who's excited to. Who are making. I'm excited about it. I'm not sure they are, but they want to get involved in training us. So when that happens, which will happen shortly, the initial getting into a rowing boat, that will be the first time ever. That will be the first
so what
time
about
ever.
the other cabbies that you're doing it with? Are they new to this as well?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They haven't been confirmed yet. But two of the guys that are probables, 90%, haven't either. But that's the whole. But they have their own stories, like I have my story. None of them are stroke survivors, but they have their own personal torments that they've gone through in life.
Yes.
For example, one guy, if he's confirmed, I can't tell you his name yet because he might not do it, but he has suffered severely with depression and mental torture throughout years. So he has a story to tell, a very important story to tell,
yes,
to hopefully inspire other people that have been through a similar kind of story in their lives. So he wants to do something completely out of the box, completely out of the comfort zone, like me as well. And that's collectively, as I said before, this is not about Rosh. This is about a group of cabbies middle-aged cabbies, who want to show that we're not ready to kick the bucket just yet. You know, we want to show and showcase what we've been through, and we're only midway through life. We've got another X amount of years to go.
Exactly.
You know, and stroke is not going to kill me. So rowing the Atlantic is not going to kill me. Jumping off the building that you said in Stratford, abseiling, that ain't going to kill me either. So, you know, I know people are going to say, yeah, but you can get run over by a bus tomorrow, Rush. Yes, I know I could. Or I could accidentally trip up or have another stroke or something. Yes, I know I could. But today, I'm alive. And as long as I'm alive today, I've got a dream for tomorrow. No, that's not a quote. That's not a quote from somewhere. I just made that up. But that's the way it is, you know?
Yeah. You've just got to go for it.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's where we are, Sheelagh. I'm very grateful for Different Strokes. It's an amazing forum. I love the people. I love the way people interact, even with the sensitive subjects. I asked a few weeks ago if anyone had considered ending their life. Because we have personal experience of that in my, and I didn't think it would be. I thought it would be deleted by one of the admins. I thought that send me a message saying, "Look, you can't say that. You'll put thoughts in people's heads." But as it happens, it ended up being quite a positive thread, because lots of people interacted with it.
Yeah,
lots of people put their hands up and said, yes, I have. And, or, you know, someone I know had, or whatever. And that's why forums like Different Strokes is really important. And also for younger people, you know, lots of young people, they're not immune to this kind of stuff, you know? with stroke. And this day and age, look how quickly they come up with a vaccine for COVID. If this day they can't come up with getting younger people to just come in for a routine blood pressure check, for example, or a routine heart monitor, or something, ECG, some
basic checks,
basic checks, basic MOT once a year, just to make sure you're okay, even if it costs 20 quid, there's no parent on this planet will deny that 20 quid to pay for that, I don't know why they don't do it. Why in this day and age do they not do that? They would save so much money in the long run by just doing these simple checks. And I don't know, but it's the noises that people like different strokes make that hopefully that eventually would happen, particularly for younger people,
It's very hard with a tiny voice, but lots of tiny voices together can make a big shout, hopefully.
That's why I like these smaller organisations. Really excited. This is very early stages. I'm not going to row before I can walk. Boom, boom. But I'm literally in the crawling stage. I'm not even walking yet. I'm sort of crawling. So it's very exciting for me to be involved in this. And I hope it's going to be exciting for you guys. And I hope people are interested in watching our progress, watching how we do it. Because it's amazing. It's a once a million thing. I don't even know if a stroke survivor has actually rode the Atlantic yet. We've made noises in that direction to find out if that is the case. If I'm the first one, a stroke survivor, to actually have rode the Atlantic, that's going to be a big personal achievement for me. And I'm not going to shut up about it.
No, why should you?
yeah, I'm sure people will get fed up. Oh, it's not that Rosh. He used to go. I'll let Rosh to go back to the kitchen. Well, when we're sick of him being rowing now. yeah. So here I am, just getting on with it and living as best as I can. I'm not working, obviously, at the moment. DVLA have taken my license away, cheeky buggers, and I'm dealing with them to try and get it back. Oh, what a mission that is proving to be. I know everyone's working from home at the moment. I appreciate things are a bit different in the world, but we also still have got to carry on with our lives. Things like dealing with DVLA, simple things, what we think is simple before, is now become an absolute mission to deal with. So it's all right, I'll get there in the end. I'm in no rush to get back to work, but I do want to get back this year at some stage.
Well, you've got all that time on your hands. You better put in some practice rowing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. And training, yeah, without a doubt. I'm looking for a personal trainer, actually, who specialises in, they did tell me, there's a technical term, personal trainers will know. But anyway, I'm looking for a personal trainer. I can't pay you, but I can pay you with love. And you'll get your name on the boats like everyone else. Like different shows will have your name on the boat as well. We're thinking of a name for the boat as well. So it's all good. It's all exciting stuff, Sheelagh. It's all exciting stuff.
It's something to look forward to as well, isn't it? And we look forward to following your progress on the Facebook group, as well as your cooking, obviously. But don't do too many chocolate truffles, or you're just winding us all up.
All right.
All right. Well, good luck with all your ventures, Ross. And we, as I say, we look forward to following your progress. And we will, of course, from Different Strokes point of view, keep everybody updated and everything. But thank you very much for talking to me today, Ross.
It was my pleasure. Thank you very much, Sheelagh. Thank you for showing interest. Thank you.
Thank you.